Raising capital is no longer about fancy pitch decks, cold calling hundreds of investors, or even finding that magic family office connection, guys. There is a new playbook, and the ones using it are pulling in millions without begging for money. And let me show you how it works. In today's world, we are living in an environment where information is becoming more and more abundant, trust is becoming more and more scarce, and guys, with AI, it is just going to amplify this even more so over the next few years. It's just going to continue to get worse. Now, when you're talking about capital, capital was always attached to, okay, what is the best deal? What's going to be my best return for my money? There was also a relationship factor to it. Well, now with the way things are going, there's going to be a much heavier weight on that relationship because you want to work with people that you like and trust. So as far as how do you do that on a mass scale, this is why people are going into personal brand. Now, personal brand, this is something where capital raisers are no longer the best capital raisers because they're good at like understanding the process or they're good at finding those connections. They're going to be the best capital raisers as well as the best content creators because that's how they're going to broadcast that message. That's how they're going to build that trust with their audience and at the end of the day, bring in more money. Again, people don't want to be sold and they don't want to be pitched to death. Now, with this new playbook, what are we talking about here? So again, number one, education. People do not want to be pitched. So you want to educate them. You want to be consistently bringing value. For instance, on my channel, I like to go through, say, deal walkthroughs. When it comes to my real estate breakdown on when I'm acquiring a deal, I want to say, hey, how did I find that deal? How did I know it was a good deal? How did I get the capital for that deal? So on and so forth. The more you're transparent in your strategy and providing that value where people, when they watch it, they can actually take some of that stuff and put it into action, people are going to build up that much more trust. That brings us to item number 2, unlock hidden capital. Now, what do I mean by this? Specifically for me, it is SDIRA, so self-directed individual retirement accounts. So why do I bring this up? Well, guys, there is over $12 trillion in retirement accounts across the US stuck in 401ks, IRAs, Roth IRAs, but I say stuck in those accounts. They're still in those accounts regardless, but I'm saying they are stuck in just investing in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. A lot of people don't realize that you can actually invest in real estate. You can loan in real estate with your retirement accounts. You can invest in cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, so on and so forth. Really, the list of what you can't invest in is much shorter. You can't invest in S corporation stock. You can't invest in life insurance, and you cannot invest in collectibles. Yes, there are some rules and regulations on how you the way you invest with your account, but those are the 3 primary items that you cannot invest in. The rest is pretty much carte blanche, guys. You can invest in a lot of things with these accounts. It is pretty impactful. It is awesome. And you're going to get much better returns if you know what you're doing in this space. Now, again, it's you being in real estate, if you are in the capital raising side, you know that these deals are going to be double-digit deals on a very consistent basis. So wouldn't you think it's relatively easy to find these people, educate them on how these accounts work, the things that they need to be aware of, like the gotchas, making sure they're aware of UBIT, so unrelated business income tax, UDFI, unrelated debt finance income, stuff like that. Again, I've got more videos on this. You can go through, do a deep dive if you'd like. But again, making sure they're educated on it and showing them that they can get better returns because guys, on average, with people's retirement accounts, say they're invested in a broad-based mutual fund that's tracking the S&P 500. On average, over the long term, they're going to make maybe, if they're lucky, 8 to 10%. That's pretty much historically how the S&P is performed. So again, if you're able to come in and provide them a much better return on their money, which in real estate, I know you definitely can because I do it, that's going to be a huge impact to them. Now that brings us to item number 3. So leverage warm automation. So this is when you bring people in through your content and your ecosphere. With that, you can be, as you're going through the deals, you're doing what you already normally do. You're going out there acquiring deals. You can be walking through them, and then people are going to want to know, hey, how can I do this? Or how can I get a hold of you? Well, guys, collect their emails and say, hey, I can put you on a wait list to be maybe involved in the next deal. Kind of build up that excitement, then provide them with educational emails being sent to them. For example, with my YouTube videos, the longer form ones where they're much more educational, I take the transcript from those and then I create a 5 to 6 minute read article that I post on LinkedIn. And how do I do that? I leverage AI to formulate that article from my voice within that YouTube content. I can also take my YouTube videos and I cut those down and put them on my Instagram, things of that nature. Now, what's important about this is, guys, you can also open to insiders first. Again, build up that hype. Now, one of the reasons why I'm saying kind of cross-posting across other platforms is there's this thing that I heard it from Daniel Priestley. I don't know if he's the original one that came up with it, but it's the 7-11-4 hack. So what do I mean by that? So what they say is it's 7 hours of your content for people to kind of gain familiarity with you. They become more familiar with you. Then it takes 11 interactions with your content to build that sense of trust. And you're going to want to cross-post that across 4 different platforms, because the more people see you, the more trust is built up, the more familiarity they get with you. So for example, on myself, I have YouTube that gets posted over to Instagram, which cross posts to Facebook. And then I'm also posting in LinkedIn for articles. Now, most people, they have at least 4. Some people, they're broadcasting across a bunch of articles. I'm not at that point yet. I'm honestly still trying to learn the game when it comes to social media, but I'm working on it. But I've heard that's kind of the reason why I'm going down this path, and it's been fruitful for me on my end, even though I have a small audience. So keep that in mind. That's super helpful. Number 4, you want to be the guide, not the hero. So you don't want to be the hero in your stories. You want to bring in kind of testimonials of people that you're working with. So people that say you brought them into an investment, show those returns. Show the testimonials of how it was to work with you. Show the benefit that you were able to provide them. Again, that's going to build up a lot more trust. Okay, so here's an example it was actually a coworker that I worked with in my previous W-2. And guys, I love real estate. I nerd out on it. I maybe talk about it way too much. Well, with that kind of rubbed off while I was on my W-2, because I was constantly talking about the real estate that I was doing. I was talking about the returns that I was getting in that real estate. And then I started to dabble more in the STIRA space, so self-directed individual retirement accounts. And when I dive into something, I nerd out, I deep dive into it. So I was becoming very knowledgeable in this space. And with that, this coworker said, "Hey, so how can I get into this? How can I get in on some of this action that you're doing on your side?" Well, guess what, guys? I just showed that person, or gave that person the resources as well as the wherewithal on how to use these accounts. And what do you know? By the time it got to the point of, hey, these are the items that you can invest in. This is something that I would probably invest in. This is super useful. Again, consult your CPA, because I'm not a CPA, but I've seen good returns in this market. This is what I would do. And you know what? Instead of doing that, that person said, well, can I just invest with you? Which is hilarious, guys, because I totally ran across this completely by accident. I did not go into this saying, hey, I'm going to capital raise in the STIRA space. I was just trying to figure it out for my own self and becoming very knowledgeable on the topic. And then more people wanted to get into it, so I was teaching them how to do it. And then at the end of that, they said, well, we actually trust you. Let's just invest with you. Completely unintentional. That was not my intention going into it. But now going into it like that, it's like, hey, this is actually a valid play. If you're trying to help people make much better returns in their retirement accounts and bring capital to your deals, this is an awesome strategy. So, because when you're talking about retirement accounts, say you're invested in a broad-based mutual fund that's tracking the S&P 500, so the general overall US economy. On average, over the long term, you're going to be at best probably making 8 to 10%. Whereas I know if you're in real estate, you know you can make far better returns than that, and you can provide your capital partners a much better rate of return on their money. So again, this is a super valid strategy where, one, it's going to help you in your deals, and it's going to help that person actually have a better retirement in something that is tangible and they can actually touch and feel. So good stuff there. So guys, if you're serious about raising capital this year, you cannot ignore this playbook any further, especially when it comes to the STIRA space, because guys, they are the ultimate unlock for both you and your investors' retirement accounts. And again, I am a firm believer of democratizing valuable information. Again, you need to be providing value, and that is for people to get started in this space. I want to make sure that they can take action from free content that I'm just putting out there. And if that's you guys, take a look at my 7-part STIRA series. This will be a huge help to you. Again, it's completely free. It's on my channel. It's value packed. It's going to be super helpful for you. Or if you're the type of person that, say, you want a shortcut to where you can get ramped up as quickly as possible, I do offer one-on-one coaching program for leveraging your self-directed retirement account space. And the link to that is in the description, again, if that interests you. And with that, guys, I will catch you on the next one.